Howdy everybody, it's Amy from Amy's Sparkly Diamond Painting. I'm a little slow getting the drawing video out here, but I'm finally getting to it. So I need to pick the winners for the 5 cross-stitch Santa kits from my YouTube video where I showed my collection of Sandra Calzolino Santas. So I have 5 here that were duplicates in my collection that I wanted to share with everybody. So I had a comment picker type thing going on there. Instead of entering it into a comment picker app and search for the keywords, I find it easier to just assign every comment a random number or just a number, and then spin the wheel to select the winners. So I have given everybody that commented on that a number, and it turns out we only had 21 entries, so I haven't quite crossed over into the cross-stitch YouTube world yet. I mainly live in the diamond painting world, which is perfectly fine and great for you all, because it means with only 21 entries, the chances of winning are pretty high on this one. So instead of asking each winner to pick which Santa they prefer, I think it's just easier if I take each kit and do the drawing for each kit so that you know which one you're getting. And then if people want to trade or comment or contact me through email or whatever to see about getting a different one, we can maybe work that out. But I think it's easiest to just pick one, because I could see where multiple people might want the same one and it could get kind of confusing there, and the last person to contact me will end up without a choice. So I'm just going to take this first one here. This is Alpine Santa. This is one of the older Mill Hill kits. So this is one of the early Mill Hill kits. It's got a pack of beads there, the threads, and it is a Santa with the dove and a lantern there in the beads. So let's spin the wheel and see who the first winner is. And it is number 7. And number 7 I have on my sheet here is Diamonds and Things. So Diamonds and Things, I'll put your name up there when I edit this video. Diamonds and Things. Contact me through email, and I'll put my email in the comments of this. And let me know if you're still interested in this one and where I need to mail it to. So that is number 7, Diamonds and Things. Okay, next we have also one of the somewhat newer one, or middle of the range, I guess, for years that they were issued. I should have put the years on these, but I can tell kind of by the price there from Silver Needle. Again, that's my favorite shop to buy these from. So you'll see a lot of them have these Silver Needle stickers on them, and that is a cross-stitch store in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So this is Appalachian Santas. This one is the Blue Ridge. So Blue Ridge Santa there with the little raccoon and the bag of goodies there. So let's spin the wheel. And number 7, I am going to hide you now. I want to make sure we get these to different people. So we will spin the wheel. And we have... Oh, that was close. Number 21, which is Kim Paff 5443. So Kim Paff 5443. Congratulations on winning the Blue Ridge Santa kit. So let me know through email how to reach you, and we'll get that to you. So I will now hide your slice. Next up, we have Caribbean Santas. So this one is a more recent kit there, $8 price tag from the Silver Needle. And this is Jamaica Santa. So he's got kind of a old ship look there with a map and the wheel of a ship. Kind of cute one there, because I like maps. So let's see who we have here for this one. Oh, number 1 has been close on either side there. So that is number 2. This is Marcella Reese, 8853. So Marcella Reese, 8853. You are the winner of Jamaica Santa. 2 left here. Now this one doesn't have a silver needle sticker on it. I'm guessing I do occasionally end up having to get them on Amazon or other places. So this is one of the Jim Shore Santas. If you're familiar with him as an artist, there's a lot of Jim Shore sculptures and ornaments and everything out there. So this is Greetings Santa. It comes with 2 packs of beads there. So this is Greetings Santa, and we will hide number 2 now and spin the wheel. Let's see what we have here. Number 5, which I have down here. Oh, is Marcella Reese. She had 2 comments in there, so I'm gonna hide and spin again because she just won the last one. So we want to get. Didn't notice that as I was putting the numbers on the comments. Wow. Number 1, that's funny because either side of number 1, I kept thinking it was going to pick number 1 and it didn't, and this time we did. So it's been hanging right around that same area here. So number 1 was RGKI77Y10. So RGKI77Y10. You are the winner of the Greetings Santa. So we have 1 left here. Hide that slice. And the last one is another Jim Shore Santa, and it's got the silver needle price tag there. This is Christmas Cheer Santa. So let's spin the wheel and see who gets Christmas Cheer Santa. Definitely likes the lower numbers today. So number 9 is Lily Diamond Paints. So right there, I'll put your name. Lily Diamond Paints wins Christmas Cheer Santa. And that is the last one that I have to give away here. So if you were one of the winners, please contact me through email with your mailing address, and I'll figure out how to get these Santas to you sometime this week. So I appreciate everybody watching that video and sticking through it. That was a video that I just enjoyed making, so I know it was really long, but I do appreciate you guys hanging in there and joining in on the fun that I had. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been learning about stamped cross stitch. And so that, as you can tell by the title, instead of doing the drawing at the end, I know that's one of the techniques that a lot of YouTubers use to get people to watch their videos, and then they do the drawing at the end, so you have to stick through the whole video to get to that part, or sometimes they sprinkle it in the middle. I'm going to remove, this is a fitness ring that I wear a lot, but it's actually kind of bugging me right now. It's pretty hot today, so I feel a little swollen. Here, let's put something in the camera here for you to look at while I do this little intro. So, cross stitch, yes. So I didn't put the giveaway at the end because I know not everybody wants to see this stuff, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've learned lately about stamped cross stitch. So I got started with the stamped cross stitch because I was contacted by a company that's on my diamond painting channel and asked me if I wanted a PR package or a review, an item for a review that was cross stitch. And I thought, well, I don't really cross stitch anymore, but it's very diamond painting adjacent, and I don't because my eyes are bad. As I've talked about many times, won't go into that some more, but they are getting better, especially the one that had the shot a couple weeks ago. My vision has actually improved 20 points, so I went from 20/70 to 20/50 within a week of getting that steroid shot, so it was a little annoying. My eye did bleed and had some other issues there for about a week, but it is a little pellet that is going to sit in my eye and slowly release steroids for the next 6 months. So hopefully we can do that to the other eye and have some success. But anyway, my vision's getting better, which has led me to trying cross stitch again, especially with these new stamped cross stitches. So once I reviewed that cross stitch, I started looking online and watching other YouTube channels related to stamped cross stitch, but most of them are actually overseas. So Stitcherella is one of the people that I watch a lot. She's in South Africa, and she does a ton of PR packages for fan cells and other companies related to stamped cross stitch. And then Lovecraft Crafts, Love Arts and Crafts. I have to look up her name. I'm sorry. I'll put it here as well. She is a Ukrainian stitcher that lives in Canada, and she also does a lot of reviews from companies of stamp cross stitch. So I've been watching their videos a lot besides my all the usual channels I watch for diamond painting stuff, and I really enjoy listening to them. They're very interesting people living interesting lives, much more interesting than mine. But they do almost daily, they have PR packages that they're reviewing of the different stamped cross stitch out there. So that has led me down this rabbit hole. A part of me wishes that company hadn't asked me to review that, because I wouldn't have learned about stamp cross stitch and my budget would have been happier. But it's been a fun thing. A lot of crafts that I do, I kind of work this way where I have to learn everything there is about them. So I'd like to teach you and show you what I've learned along the way. So let's start. I learned how to make project bags for one thing. So I got my sewing machine back out, and I learned how to make my own zipper project bags, because apparently on Flosstube that's a thing, is to have homemade bags, and there are people on Etsy that sell these the whole bit. But this actually came from a PR package. So I'll show you using this one. I won't take them all out. I'm just going to talk about brands and stuff like that. But this is one that I did as a PR package. I believe this was GBFKE. I'll have to look. But it was only a little over $4. So really cheap. I thought it would be fun to try one here. So the colors are psychedelic on here because that's the easiest way to have the high contrast to be able to tell what's what. Here are the areas that I stitched where you can see it covers up those really weird colors and becomes more normal to what the image is actually supposed to look like. So I got the jar lid here, the lemons here. They're a little bit orange for lemons, but we'll talk about that. And then the cinnamon sticks, and you can turn it over and kind of see what's been stitched there. I got the two different areas of cinnamon sticks and then the top of the jar. And so that's one that I've actually worked on. This is an 11 count. So it's got the bigger squares, and you get the printed pattern, and I've had to go back and forth because some of these symbols on this one actually were kind of hard for me to tell what exactly they were. But I have the printed pattern here, and here is what the picture is supposed to look like. And this is a company called Joy Sunday, and you recognize a Joy Sunday, well, sort of Joy Sunday. We'll talk about that too. This is actually Needle Kung Fu that makes all the Joy Sunday, as well as several other companies, and then each company brands their own packaging. So this is typically with this blue top with the lady stitching there and the border down here. These are typically referred to as Joy Sunday brand. However, there are other companies that use the same blue with the same lady stitcher there, and they don't say, or they say a different name down here of their company, and some of these actually do say the words Joy Sunday. So there was some confusion when I did my first PR package. It was like this. It didn't say Joy Sunday on there, and somebody commented and said, "Are you sure that's Joy Sunday? Because it doesn't say it." And hers say Joy Sunday on there. And I thought, this is interesting. And also I thought, where are these patterns coming from? So that led me into my deep dive into, well, shallow dive. I shouldn't say deep dive yet. Shallow dive into the world of stamp cross stitch from Chinese companies and where they're getting the patterns from and how this works and all that. And just like diamond painting, cross stitching overseas has a lot of the same licensing issues, and a lot of times, according to the videos I've seen and what I've looked up and a lot of the Reddit chats and other things I've found, a lot of times these companies are taking a picture of a cross stitch pattern and converting it into their own cross stitch pattern. So they don't necessarily steal the pattern itself, they're taking photos and then making their own patterns out of them. Now this one looks like a regular pattern, so I'm not sure that was the case with this one, but I did notice those lemons are awfully orange, so the colors don't quite translate quite as well as what you see here. So I did notice that when I pulled out the threads. I was like, I also did notice this says Ecology Cotton Floss at the bottom. If you are buying these from the companies that sell them overseas, they are not true DMC threads. They are copies of DMC colors made with different brands of floss. So the cheaper kits, or the 11 counts, typically have Ecology Cotton Floss, which they have the DMC numbers on the pattern and everything to match them up. If you run out, you could go to the store and get DMC colors and hope they match pretty close. But the Ecology floss it's not as good quality. You'll see it has a little bit less shine than DMC threads, and I've had to cut all of these in half instead of using the longer lengths, because they do fray by the time you get to the end of the longer lengths. So when I used to cross stitch, I would take like the full long piece, because I hated constantly rethreading needles and all that. So I would use the full yard or so length, probably a meter instead of a yard, based on where these are coming from. See, I think I've cut most of these. Here's one. The really long lengths, you want to cut them in half, because the thread won't survive going in and out of the fabric over and over again as well. It does tend to fray. So I cut these in half, and then they're fine and they don't fray and all that stuff, but I would not use the full length. So this is kind of what I've learned about these. Now it does have the J on there. So I thought, well, is it Joy Sunday, or is it a copycat of Joy Sunday? Well, it is Joy Sunday, is what I'm learning. So they don't all say the Joy Sunday name on there. It has to do with where they're sending these. So maybe if you buy one on Amazon, it'll probably say Joy Sunday because it's being sold in the US, but not necessarily if they're sold overseas in China. So yes, these are Joy Sunday. They're just not, they don't have the name on there. Let me get this to where I can fit it in there. You guys are watching me struggle here. But Joy Sunday has a store on AliExpress. If you want to be absolutely sure, you can go to the Joy Sunday store on AliExpress and buy straight from them. But you can also go to this company called Needle Kung Fu on there. And let me find my Needle Kung Fu package here, because I did end up with one of those. Not purposely, but I learned this afterwards. So Needle Kung Fu is the parent company that makes the cross stitch for Joy Sunday and several brands. So if you go to the Needle Kung Fu description on Alibaba or AliExpress, I've never shopped on Alibaba, but I've seen the description on there. They describe themselves as the manufacturer that makes Joy Sunday and the other brands and all that. So it's all the same manufacturer. What you get is different packaging and maybe slightly different floss based on whether it's the cheaper Ecology floss or the better Egyptian floss, which I'll show you in a minute. So this kit, I believe this one came from Temu, and this is branded with the Needle Kung Fu. But it's kind of the same thing, you'll notice the same packaging for all of these, because again, it's all the same manufacturer. But this is the Needle Kung Fu version, and sometimes they have slightly different printing, but this looks the same symbols used and everything as the other one there. The key is a little bit smaller. I actually haven't opened this myself, but you get the floss cards that look just like Joy Sunday that say the word cross stitch on there and the numbers, and then you get the little needles that are in a baggie stapled to the cards. So that is the typical Joy Sunday packaging as well. Packaged the same way. And then you have the regular pattern, which is done in the color. It's on shiny material here so that it doesn't get messed up over time. And you can refer to that, and then you have the key there. And they usually separate everything into full stitch, half stitch, French knots, and back stitch. So this kit just happens to have all the types there. And you sometimes have blended stitches as well to get more colors. So this one, pretty good, 38 color, oh, nope, 40 colors. Or, no, those are probably within these. So yeah, 38 colors on this one. So that is Needle Kung Fu and Joy Sunday, and why you see these various different company packaging that look all very close to the same. So this is also Needle Kung Fu, but it gives the name Bill Rost, but it's that same packaging with that blue, the lady who's stitching. This one came from Temu.
Oh. For mostly sunny weather, with a high of 38 degrees Celsius and a low of 24 degrees.
Okay. I have ALEXA always telling me the weather every day, and I get a special notification if there's rain in the forecast. Of course, I know if there's rain in the forecast based on where I work. But anyway, so this one has the name Bill Rost on it, but it is the same Needle Kung Fu parent company, and this is a 14 count for 2 strands. A lot of the smaller counts like 14, 16, and 18 have a little bit better floss in them, but I'm guessing because of the generic cover on here that this one probably has the ecology floss, the cheaper floss, but it doesn't say. But I got this one on Temu. Haven't looked at it yet. This was like $3 or $4, really, really cheap. Or I shouldn't say cheap, budget friendly. But this one has a slightly different card here because it's slightly different branding, even though it's the same manufacturer. So we have Into the Cross Stitch of Love, and then we have the needles here stapled. And pretty colors on that one. Very nice colors in the printing. It's pretty much the same, but if you've never looked at one of these here, oops, let's put it right side up. It's very easy to read, and that's why I've gone to stamped cross stitch. I would buy US if it existed in the US. I know Dimensions had made a couple of kits that were more stamped cross stitch, but stamped cross stitch in the US is like pillowcases and quilts on just plain fabric. It's not the same, and I don't like that. I've tried it. I don't like it. So this allows me to actually be able to cross stitch and to do so on the couch when I don't feel like sitting in my diamond painting chair and bending over and looking at diamond painting all day when my neck needs a break, or when I just want to sit on the couch and watch TV. So that's what I do nowadays for my crafting by the TV. But you can see you don't have to follow a chart with symbols. You just read what's there on the fabric and stitch that color, and the symbols are very clear and very easy to read. So I did get some comments as expected on my first video where I unveiled stamped cross stitch. I did get the comments about unlicensed work and all that stuff, and yes, I am aware, but there is no alternative in the US, so I buy what I can find, and that's going to lead me to these budget friendly companies, the same ones that we buy our diamond paintings from, the same ones I do the PR packages for, because there really isn't an alternative, and it's something I found I really enjoy doing. So here's one I bought on Amazon. This is slightly different packaging here. As you can see, the blue is a little bit different and all that. So I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that company list and see if May Deer shows up on it for that Needle Kung Fu. Again, you can check on AliExpress. But May Deer is another option, and I see several of these based on just looking at the back here. Pretty sure it's the same manufacturer, but May Deer is all over Amazon. So I noticed a lot of these kits are hard to find on Amazon, probably because somebody complained maybe about licensing or something, hard to know. But May Deer, you can find them on Amazon if you don't want to shop from the overseas companies. So this is an 11 count. It's got that same Into the Cross Stitch of Love there with the needles. And then you have the chart. So yeah, all the same manufacturer, just with different company names. Now those are some of the better ones. I got one more here, an example. This one actually says Joy Sunday on it. So this was kind of the question that viewer had said, is it really Joy Sunday if it doesn't say so? Yes, it is. It's just same manufacturer, same elements. It says Ecology Cotton Floss there. Same everything, just different packaging based on where it's being sold. So this is a different little project bag that I bought because I can only sew so much. And none of those have been started. This one I did start. So if you want to actually see another one where the colors are a change in here. So this just holds the pattern, and then this unzips to hold the rest of the goodies. So this was a real simple one. I've done the whole top here. Really simple little sampler. So I've been playing around with stopping and starting stitches in small areas on this one. So there are lots of video tutorials on that. But that's where I've gotten on that one so far. So yes, Into the Cross Stitch of Love. So yeah, they're all the same manufacturer. They're all the same thing. So now that we've probably looked at Joy Sunday till you're tired of it, let's talk about other brands that are out there. And here's an example. There is a brand, I showed the Pokemon one on a separate video because that was about customer service and Biggest Craft, which I had found out from Sjtwxgirl that Biggest Craft is actually one person, according to her, that's running that company. So a person was trying to find customer service because they were short on a color of floss, and she was pointing them to that person, but just be patient because it's one person, and of course they're on different time zones. I get all my emails from the Chinese companies obviously overnight. So they said be patient and give them a chance because they will help you out, and they certainly helped me out way more than I expected. So that's why I did the customer service video. Biggest Craft, I will continue to order from them, and I will place an order very soon after they sent me that huge Pokemon replacement cross stitch. But that's another video. So anyway, Huacan, Huacan, they also do diamond paintings, and they do have cross stitch kits. And this one may be a Huacan, or the other one is Yishu brand, Yishu. Both of them are more generic, and they have fewer colors and not quite the same quality as Joy Sunday or another company I'm going to talk about, which is Spring here at the end. So you can get these budget-friendly cross stitches. These look a lot more like the diamond paintings that we get from the real budget-friendly companies. You can tell the difference because they have this unusual paper here that's shiny on the back and kind of matte finish on the front that they print the patterns on, and it's probably, again, all the same manufacturer, but they say either Huacan or Yishu brand, but they max out at 40 colors. So they show a lot of the same images that are AI generated, or a lot of the really complex artwork that you see for diamond paintings. But it's kind of the same process. They take that fancy image, they turn it into pixel art, usually computer generated, and they max out at 40 colors. So they're a little lower quality. They have the same little printed instructions here, but it's a much smaller scale. And I did learn that these patterns are not waterproof. So if you get this wet, the ink will dissolve. So you don't want to get your pattern wet, even though the paper feels like it could survive getting wet because it's that shiny, it's an unusual feeling paper. It's not waterproof, so don't get water near this. Of course, your canvas is not waterproof in the sense that all the ink will wash away, because that's kind of the point, is that they're made so that the ink will wash away when you're done. So you have just the plain white instead of all the grid lines and information on the side. But you can kind of tell by looking at this, the printing isn't as clear. There, we only have the 40 colors, and it just, the red is really saturated on this. So it does make it a little bit harder to stitch, and sometimes, yes, you can see it bleeding all the way to the back. And sometimes it's a little bit harder to wash these canvases that are these generic brand or those brands that I mentioned, the Yishu or Huacan. So they're a little bit less quality, but that's sometimes the only way you can get some of these designs. You can sort of see this, the starfish down here. There's a plant, there's a shell, another little starfish. So you can sort of make out the design. But these are lesser quality, but sometimes that's the only way you have to get certain images. So just be careful and realize that they are going to be a little bit different. They typically have their floss on what's called floss drops. These are floss drops. I'll show you closer on another one that I'm working on, because I don't want to open this. And they have like a little animal on the bag of goodies that you get, which is a little puff ball that holds your needles, usually 4 or 5 needles, and then a thimble and a needle threader there. That's the typical kit. And I've noticed people, when they do the unboxings, they look at which animal they got on their bag. So that's maybe a little collector item type thing. But they come in these clear plastic bags, just like my Pokemon one did. They are cheaper, so they are definitely budget friendly. They are doable, and I will show you how I know that. And that would be this one here, because this is my go bag for a cross stitch I've been working on. This is one that I take with me when my hubby and I go out. We have a local brew pub that we go to and hang out with our friends, usually on Friday nights, although we didn't yesterday because there was a big RC car race. But typically Friday nights, every 2 or 3 weeks, you'll find us at that little brew pub downtown. And it's a place where crafty, geeky, nerdy people hang out, and they play Dungeons and Dragons. They have puzzles and games there. They have a book exchange. So it's not unusual to find somebody cross-stitching at this brew pub. And I've been going there for years. They know us. It's not a big deal for me to pull out my cross-stitch and work on it. So I do. This is the one that's the only time I work on it, is when I take it with me. It just stays in this bag. This is a tornado. It's hard to tell there. This is from the brand Huacan, though. As you can tell, it's only got 30 colors, and it's very splotchy. So I've been trying to figure out, is this worth continuing? But since it's mindless cross stitch that I just take with me to the brew pub, I don't worry about it. I'm just going to keep going with it. I'm kind of working my way down, and if it turns out, that's great. If not, that's okay. I'm not that worried about it. This was one of the first ones when I was learning about the different companies and all that stuff. I'm just going to continue on, and I'll show you the pattern so you can see what I'm talking about with those pictures. They use that same paper. So it's AI art that looks amazing on the website. So this is the kind of picture that you will see, but this is what you will actually get, because even though 40 colors sounds like a lot for diamond painting, it's not a lot for cross stitch. And this probably also is available as a diamond painting in a little bit bigger size, and it would probably end up looking pretty close to the same with those 40 colors. You just have the background printed on there that would kind of show through behind the round diamonds, because typically the budget friendlies are rounds, but that's what the picture's supposed to look like versus what you get here. So just letting you know, there's nothing wrong with buying the budget friendly cross stitch kits. They are functional. It's just that some of them aren't going to turn out quite what you expected. So this is the floss drops. That's what they're called. So each individual color has its own little tag here, and you can put them on a ring. That's really the best way to handle them, to keep them in order by DMC number. That's what I have here. So you can just flip through to find the DMC number that you want and pull the floss off of that card. I got the purple a little bit mixed up in there. There we go. So there's one strand there that just wants to be in the way. I don't want to pull too hard right now. I'll fix that later because I don't want to pull it out and lose which color it is. Of course, that's purple. That's got to be a 550-ish number. But anyway, that's how the really budget, no-name brand, or Huacan or Yishu, that's how they look. So not real impressed with how it's coming out, but it's just mindless stitching for when I'm away from the house. Here's another example of one. This is a bookmark that I got on one of the budget-friendly sites, so you can kind of see the bleed through of the red. I actually haven't opened this yet. There's a little tassel for the bookmark. It's supposed to be a double-sided bookmark, so maybe we should go ahead and take a look here at it. There it is. So we can see we got the bag with the animal on it here. We got a bird on this one with the goodies. And then we have the little instructions and the typical pattern. So it is basically to be double-sided, you stitch the same picture twice. So if you didn't want it double-sided, you'd have 2 bookmarks that you could give away. So I find it interesting that they give me 2 copies of the same exact pattern there. They are the exact same. They probably could have just printed one, but I think that's their way of showing you do the exact same thing on both of them. But this one only has 14 colors. They are pretty colors here on the floss drops there, but there are only 14. And there's how the canvas looks there. So quick and easy stitch. This is 11 count, but these are available fan cells, GBFKE, Outdoor Tide, New Craft Day, as well as 7 Great is one that I've actually bought several from. I still have some on the way. That's a really nice site to buy these. And of course, Biggest Craft. I think 7 Great is the one that I've done one of the PR packages for. So I'm not sure I want to go into the details of all of these, but I do want to talk about the next brand. It's another Joy Sunday. Well, I'll show this one because I've made some progress on it. This is a cactus. This is what the smaller count looks like here. This is a 14 count Joy Sunday, so a lot smaller, but it's kind of fun here. So I've done this flower. It was bright orange. It's probably hard to see because it's white, but you can see some of the bright orange ink kind of coming through there. And I've done most of the pot here. So this first cactus is mostly done. I actually sit in bed and work on this one, so it normally lives upstairs. Because that's just a good one for that, because it's nice and small. Okay, let's talk about Spring Brand, because Spring Brand is one of the premium brands. It is one of the favorite out there for stamp cross stitch, and this is the one that I did the PR package for, an unboxing for. I believe this was either VIP stitch or 7 Great, but that there's also a another company I've done a different one for that was Paint Some Way or Paint, yeah, I think it sounded like a paint by number company. It turned out to be a cross stitch company. So Paint by Number Day, I think. I'll have to go back and look. I get so many emails from the different companies. So Paint by Number Day, pretty sure that's it. And they are only cross stitch, but they also sell these as well. But Spring Brand is one of the premium brands, as kind of like Joy Sunday. Joy Sunday is a favorite, and we talked about all that. But Spring Brand is a premium brand. They do a lot of the really big patterns, and they do a lot of colors. You can come up with kits with over 100 colors from Spring Brand, but they have two different kinds of packaging, a brown and a green, and the difference is usually related to count, 14 count versus 11 count, and floss. So the brown ones are typically the 11 count ones, and they are the ecology or cheaper cotton, whereas if you get a green one with the green there, they are typically, and there's usually green on the packaging as well, but I've kind of swapped it out here, but they have like leaves on the bag itself. These have fancy project bags, and the green is what they call Egyptian cotton, and it'll usually say it on there. That's why I'm looking on this one to see. Egyptian cotton is just better quality cotton that's been treated, and you can tell by the feel, and it's shinier and just a much better quality of cotton floss, and it just feels better. It goes quickly through the canvas, slides much better through the canvas without getting damaged or anything. So this is the way Spring Brand is packaged. They come on the cards, and you have the needles attached. They don't have all the other goodies the way the budget friendlies have with the little ball and with the needles in them and all that. They just have the needles in a package here. But I'm also told from a lot of the videos that the Spring Brand needles are the best. So they say, don't mix these up with your other needles. Get Spring Brand needles. There are companies now that'll just sell the needles for Spring Brand because they are much preferred. They last much longer. They're stronger. They're better needles. So Spring Brand is the premium of stamped cross stitch from overseas, if that makes sense. So this one has 24 colors here, and actually this looks like an 11 count, so I'm guessing that's not actually the Egyptian cotton, and that's why I'm missing the green little plants on this bag here. So but the Spring Brand, they're considered one of the clearest to read. They don't have the red bleeding through to the back, although this looks like almost there, but they are the easiest charting to read. And they do have, this one has full stitches as well as blended stitches, so that's why it looks like there's 24 colors here, but this only shows 10 there, and a few down here. This is where the blends are, because they show the colors here that you mix together. That makes more colors. By blending the two together, you get kind of a different shade. That's pretty common in cross stitch, to blend two colors. And there's a lot of writing on here. You can use Google Translate on your phone, but it talks about don't wash the canvas until you're done, because otherwise you'll lose the ink. But they come with these little bags that have the snap there, so you don't need to make your own project bag. And they do have the sheet of instructions and the pattern that's separate. So here's the picture, and then the pattern. You can see the back stitching on there. One of the things I forgot to mention about Joy Sunday that I noticed with that lemons kit that I was working on, they try to print the back stitching on the fabric, which sometimes makes the symbols harder to read. That's why I've had to use the paper copy to read, because the back stitching in different colors through those symbols actually makes them harder to read. But Spring Brand does not print the back stitching on there, so I find the symbols easier to see and read, but they do put the back stitching on the chart. And back stitching is basically outlining, which makes the picture really stand out. So this is the one I did the unboxing of. It is brown for the packaging, and it is 11 count here, but you can see the number of colors here. This one had 67 colors, plus a bunch of half stitches here and some back stitches. So chart very clear, very easy to read, but lots more colors and just better packaging with these fancy snap closure bags, so you don't need project bags for that. So that's another spring. One of these I wanted to show because it's a Mona Lisa brand, and this is what you get when you try silk floss kits. So Mona Lisa is a company that does the silk floss kits. And in cross-stitch world, silk is expensive, but very fun to work with, very shiny, very nice. And so I did order one silk floss kit because I was curious about it. This is actually not truly silk. It's a silk blend. I'm sure there is some silk in there, but it's not full silk the way you would find like a cross-stitch company in the US selling silk threads. But it is beautiful. It is very, very shiny, very silky. A lot of people don't like working with silk or the fake silk, or I really don't want to call it fake silk. Silk blend is probably a better word because it is very slippery. But oh, the colors are beautiful. Very vibrant colors here. So this is Mona Lisa is a brand that sells a lot of the silk here. So it says high grade exquisite cross stitch, and if you have extra that doesn't fit in the card, you'll get it in a package like this, nice and twisted. And then this one does come with a little kit there with the needles and the fuzz ball and the thimble and the needle threader there. But it also comes with a shiny picture showing you what the final picture is supposed to look like there. Beautiful colors on that. And then you get the printed pattern, and this shows 45, I think, different colors. Oh, nope, there's more. I should actually look here to see. It looks like, yes, 45. Okay. That's right. Sometimes with the blends and half stitches and all that, it's hard to tell on the pattern. It looks like 45 there because I opened it up and I saw another list in here, but it's the same. So you get the pattern here as well as the key and all that in the correct colors of how it's supposed to look. This is an 11 count. Again, I picked the bigger count because it's easier for me to see, but this is a big one. It is a tapestry type deal, meaning it's not a partial. The entire thing is stitched, so even the off-white background, that's why I had all those skeins added to it there. But very clear, very easy to read, and much more colors. So that is Mona Lisa and the silk type cross stitch that you can get out there. Beautiful. And hopefully with that many colors and the shine, the picture will at least be somewhat close to what it shows there. But this one just came in a clear plastic bag, so I had to get a project bag for it, which you can buy sets of 5 or 6 of these project bags on the same sites as well, and they come really cheap and they're very sturdy. So I think I'll next talk about this a little bit because you've seen an unboxing of this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. A couple companies have asked me to do these as product reviews. These are the new beaded cross stitch, and there are more and more of these coming out, not just flowers like they started out with, but there are animals and a lot of kid-friendly images and bigger ones coming out now, full coverage. I think I saw a peacock that was just beautiful and a tiger. So these are the beaded stitch, where what changes throughout this is the bead color rather than the floss. And I did have to go ahead and kit these up because I was worried about losing beads, because they are easy to lose, and I wasn't sure if there were a lot of extras that come in these kits. I'm not sure, so I'm going to continue to work on this one, but I have kitted it up just like a diamond painting in my Harbor Freight containers. And these come with usually around 20 to 30 colors, and this is that one right there. And this is the packaging. So I have a few of these now, and I will be working through them and sharing more as we go along. But this video is probably getting kind of long here. This is a 14 count that I've been working on probably the most, but this was another no-name brand. I think it was Yishu, actually. But I really liked the image, and that's because, as you've seen with the butterfly bookmarks, I've done, it's kind of that butterfly junk journal look where you've got the butterflies against this like sheet of paper with a letter written on it. Very classic, but this is one of the budget-friendly ones, but that's the only way to get this particular image, so I was willing to take the chance. And this one actually has 50 colors, so Yishu I think has more colors than Huacan does. So this one has 50 colors, which is a little more promising, and you can see all the pretty browns and grays and off-whites, but it does have the floss drops here, so I did get a ring to store them on. But I've made some pretty good progress on this because I thought I wanted to test it out before I got too far with it to see what I thought. So I'm still not completely sold on it, but I think with 50 colors it's a little bit better. You can see the area I've done here. I picked one of the large roses to start. And another thing I like about stamp cross stitch is you can move around. You can finish all of one color and move on to the next color. You can do different bits and pieces of the design. Counted cross stitch, you start in the middle of the fabric and you have to branch outward from there and only work around what you've done before in order to keep the count correct. Or you can do gridded, but still you risk being off one and can make a mess of a design if you're skipping around on counted cross stitch. But on the stamp cross stitch, obviously it's all laid out for you, so you can stitch wherever and whenever you want. All that to say, I wanted to start with the big flower over here to see how well this was going to come out. And it doesn't look as good close up, just like diamond painting. It's going to be pixelated and it won't look as good close up as it does in a camera. So this is that flower, and the background there, I can see some of the darker outline there, but the colors are slightly different, so I went, I'm not so sure. So this is more of a peach color, and it actually came out as kind of a dark red in the middle. So I'm not sure what color this one is going to come out, but the colors are a bit off compared to the original picture. But that's kind of what I expected with the budget-friendly one. But that's all I had available for this design that I really liked and kind of wanted to see. But this is supposed to have writing, but obviously you can't do that on a pixel image that is that size. So it's not going to show up as writing at all. I knew that. It's just going to show up as kind of lines of darker color in here, as you can see down here, if you can see kind of what I've stitched versus what I haven't yet. So that is my dive into stamp cross stitch and what I've learned. So Yishu, this one has 50 colors, so they will have more colors. Huacan will be capped off usually at 40. They used to be capped off at 20 colors. It's only been recently that they've added more colors, but you can kind of see how blocky some of those images look, and the colors don't necessarily match what you see on the picture. So Spring brand is one of the best, and then the family of Joy Sunday type brands are also very good. Remember what, oh, this was the map. This is one I bought on Amazon. This was one of the very first ones I bought. And this is a map because I love maps. So I've done basically this corner here, but this is a bigger one, so it's kind of harder to navigate while it sits in my lap. I don't stitch with a hoop. I've tried it off and on, but the weight of the hoop or the frame is heavy to me, so I don't use them. This fabric is stiffened, so I find it easy to just stitch in the hand. But this was from Amazon, so it does have the full Joy Sunday brand name on there and everything. So I think this was a Janlin pattern. That's where I've seen it in the US as counted cross stitch. So not sure about the licensing. Again, that's, you know, buyer beware, and you make your choices on that. But for me, it is a choice I've decided to make because that's the only way I can get these. They aren't available from companies in the US. If they were, I would certainly buy them, but this is my only option, so that's what I'm going to do for my enjoyment. So that's what I got to show you here. A little bit disorganized, but I really wanted to get the Santa drawing out of the way and done. But I also kind of learned a lot along the way about these stamped cross stitch kits, and I wanted to share in case you are interested in going down that route. So you can get the good brands on Temu for pretty cheap. I've seen this one over and over again on there. So just look for Joy Sunday, Mona Lisa, Spring if you're looking for the better quality. But if you like the images of the cheaper ones, give them a try. Just be aware that you'll have fewer colors and they may not come out quite as good as the picture shows. Just like diamond painting. So thank you for watching, and I'm next going to do an Amazon video of an Amazon haul of diamond painting. So don't worry, diamond painting's coming back, and I'm doing that for my 2,000 subscriber mark because I'm in 1990 something, so I'm very close. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the video out. It's close enough for me. So this has been my long vacation weekend, 4-day weekend that I'm calling it a vacation. So I'm getting lots of stuff done craft-wise and video-wise. So that's why I'm piling up a whole bunch of videos and uploading them, and I'll be sharing them through the next week or two. So thank you for watching. I will get this one up today because of the Santa drawing that has dragged on too long. So thank you for watching, and hit the like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you have some cross stitch friends that might be curious, feel free to share my channel with them because I am delving more and more into the cross stitch world, and I will be doing updates maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month, we'll see. And I got another request to do another unboxing for a cross stitch, which is on its way to me, that I think is really cute. So I'll shut up now and say goodbye. Thank you for watching.